Hi, happy Saturday. We have another Saturday food support group. And this is quite a special day because yesterday I celebrated my 4-year carniversary. And it's just absolutely amazing that I've been able to taper off of all of my psych meds, resolve my symptoms of bipolar disorder and multiple sclerosis. And I was able to lose and keep off 120 pounds. And I couldn't have done this without carnivore. Eating the fatty meat was what was healing my brain and was keeping me satiated and helped me to break my addiction to sugar and processed foods. And so I just am going to keep telling my story and keep sharing with you guys in the hopes that it gives you guys hope. And I was not a like willpower person. I wasn't a healthy person. I never, maybe did a diet for 2 weeks. I never did anything consistently. And if I could do it, anybody can do it. And then it's just, multiplied from there that I've had now hundreds of clients that have had some of the same experiences. And then of course, people in the carnivore community, the keto community, the low carb community. It's been incredible. So no matter how hopeless you are today, you don't have to stay there. It doesn't have to continue to be your reality. Just come to our Saturday food support groups and we'll support you along the way. So first I would love to start off with Jackie. She is in Vegas at a meetup. So Jackie, tell us what's going on.
Oh, yes. And they said they're picking me up in 10 minutes. So I have just a few minutes to do this, but having a wonderful time. Whoever thought you'd go to Vegas and not drink, not gamble, not do any of the normal things. We've gone on a hike at Red Rock Canyon, which yesterday, I don't know, I think it was over 2 miles. Doesn't sound like much, but when, you're out there, it was really cold. And I know that one person, Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, who showed up at the meetup, which was really awesome, but she had like 18,000 steps yesterday. So we're putting some steps in. And then I worked out the hotel in the morning yesterday. And this morning, me and another gal named Linnell, we walked the whole strip. And I don't know if you've been here before, but every street that you have to cross, it's an overpass. So up the stairs and down, and then you keep going. And I don't know, maybe we did 10 or 12 flights of stairs, all, going up the stairs like that. But we got such a great workout this morning. Anyway, it's Vicki Kempker, who is the hostess. She actually lives here in Vegas, and then Karen Miles. And so a bunch of gals are staying at Vicky's house. I'm here with my husband, so we have a hotel at Planet Hollywood, but it's been fantastic. Yesterday we had a carnivore breakfast and everybody brought stuff. So there were people that brought their dehydrated meats. I brought the carnivore bread that I make. It's basically a pork rind bread. We posted the recipe on there, but I can share that again if anyone wants it. It's basically pork rinds, sour cream, 3 eggs, and some mozzarella cheese and seasonings. So it actually is the most closest thing to a bread I have ever had. And I only eat it on special occasions like this because I really don't have sober behavior with that bread. I'm like, I just want more and more. So I left it their house. So all those gals have to deal with that, calling their name. And someone, Tammy Reichert from Pennsylvania, she brought fresh eggs from her chickens. They made scrambled eggs. We had bacon, made the way Ken Berry makes it in a big pot. And Kelly Hogan, she made her creme brulee. So it's the first time I've had that. Also, no sober behavior with that. So that's a special occasion food for me. I loved it. It was delicious. And it was kind of amazing. I ate all those things, and yet my ketones were way higher today than yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, I expected bad because I had cheese. I had, another gal from Wisconsin, Kathy David, she brought all these cheeses from Wisconsin. I mean, it was just such a great, everybody chipped in for this breakfast that we had at Vicky's house. And it was amazing. It was just so much fun. And then last night, we went to In-N-Out Burger of all places and had burger patties there, just the standard. And then we walked the strip, and some of them, the crazy ones, went zip lining, down the queue, whatever they call that place that we were at. And so today at 2 p.m. is the actual meetup. And after that, we're going to go to Fremont. So
Wow.
nobody's drinking, nobody's hungover, nobody's doing the normal Vegas, but we sure see a lot of it here. And I feel for those people. They don't know how great you can feel just eating really well. I just want to share one secret that I have started doing. I bought this 1 liter bottle,
Yeah.
and I put boiling hot water. I have a hot water pot here in my room. I put boiling hot water and a half recipe of snake juice powder that I make myself with all the things. It's basically electrolyte drink. And then here's the secret weapon: Redmond's real salt seasoning. I'm going to post about this later, but I'm not kidding you. This is like the best broth I've ever made, and I'm still on my fast. So I'm not breaking my fast. I'm just having seasoning salt in hot water with snake juice. And the water is snake juice. It's not water. So it just tastes like I'm having broth. So I am just crazy about it. It's so good, and feel like we're doing awesome here.
That's incredible.
Everybody's leaving tomorrow. So, and our theme is to have, yesterday was to have some kind of animal print on. So we had fun. It was great. I wish you all were here. I really do.
That's so incredible. And I really appreciate your posts and videos and pictures and everything.
I'm way behind.
Oh, well, I know you'll catch up this week, and it just blesses my heart to know that we can support each other in eating this way, because it's so isolating. And it's so important to recognize that, we're not alone, and that there's a reason why we're doing this, you know. So thank you so much, Jackie. And so you guys, they're coming to pick you up for coffee, and
Yes.
and then you guys are going to have the actual meetup this afternoon.
Yes. And I'm not drinking coffee at all right now either. I'm just having the broth. So I'm bringing my secret weapon with me.
There you go. And so how many people are registered for the
There's
the meetup?
49.
Wow.
Like, whoa, 49. Well, maybe 50. I don't know. I don't know if Lisa was counted in that count. So
Are you meeting at the house, or are you guys meeting at like
no, the meetup is at Big B's Texas Barbecue. So I'm thinking some brisket is on my future for today. I love brisket, so I'm hoping that's what they have over there. So yeah, just a nice restaurant. Texas Barbecue. Can't go wrong.
No. And oh my gosh, Vegas is so much fun, even sober. The first time I went to Vegas, I was 18 years old, and I went with my grandma and my dad. So I was completely sober, and I had a blast.
It's incredible. I hope we see Elvis today. My goal is to get a picture with Elvis. A little secret, I did get a picture with some Chippendales guys yesterday. So they were out there, so I did it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hubby was not with me at that moment. So
oh my goodness. Does he know about the picture?
Oh yeah. I showed him. Yeah, they look like they're spanking. Yeah, it's silly.
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Jackie, oh my gosh, you were living it up.
We were having fun.
Awesome. Well, yes, Tom says in the chat, tell everyone hello from us. And we're just so happy that everybody's having such a good time.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for keeping us updated. And next, Tom has a couple of stories that happened to him recently. And honestly, like, I really think it's important for us to share this because, people say the craziest stuff. So go ahead, Tom.
So I was walking my dogs the other day, and I was at the park, and I come across this guy who I've seen walk behind my house. And he goes, "Oh, I know where you live. You got that nice backyard." And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "What happened to the old man that used to walk your dogs?" And I said, "That was me." And he was like embarrassed for saying that, because a year ago when I walked the dogs, I had a cane. I was over 300 pounds. I just looked like an old man, I guess. But I just thought that was funny. But
That's hilarious. And it's so
yeah,
telling. It's because he was totally genuine.
he had
Like,
no idea that was me, that I'm now the way I am now. So
wow.
I guess I must look a little bit better than I did back then. So that one. And then the other thing that happened is I got a cold call from a nurse who's trying to sell me these medical benefits that I have. And I started talking to her about, my journey on carnivore and all that. So she actually spent on the phone with me for 45 minutes, knowing that I wasn't going to do this service. So she was so enthralled to what I was telling her about stuff and about cholesterol, the opposite of what's true on blood work, and statins, being on statins, going off statins, and how much it affects your mental capacity. So she spent 45 minutes on the phone with me, and she's not getting anything out of it. So, and I ended up texting her a link to some, like Amy's Tychols, or not Amy, Tychols, what's her first name? Nina Tychols. Nina.
Oh, Tychols.
The Big Fat Surprise, and that video. And so she didn't text back saying thank you, but she said, "Yeah, I'll watch those." And I gave her a couple names, and so she's a nutritionist, and she said, "Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about this," and just telling her about some things that are opposite of really what's true, and how the government. And I sent her also a link to the Tufts University link that shows like Cheerios and all these things that are higher, better for you on the scale than eggs and steak, and eggs and steak are down in the down towards, or steak is down, red meat down at the bottom, eggs in the middle, and then all this other stuff at the top is totally opposite. It should be flipped.
Yeah.
So just like the food pyramid is wrong. So
that's so cool though that you were able to, even if she didn't say, "Yes, I agree with this," like you were able to give her something to think about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm hoping that maybe she'll look into that, and then maybe, because she's a nutritionist too. So I don't know if there's something there. So the third story that I had is today, this morning, I just spent a boatload of money on golf clubs. I just bought myself new golf clubs. So something that, and I told you before that I remember I gave away my clubs because I didn't think I was ever going to play golf again. And here I am, 7 years later, after having two back surgeries, a knee replacement, quadruple bypass. And now I'm getting ready to play golf again. So.
Oh my goodness, Tom. I cannot celebrate that enough. Like, you're not the old man walking the dogs with a cane anymore, and you can golf. Like,
yep.
What a gift. You got your life back.
I did. I really did. And Meryl's not happy that I spent as much money as I did. So, but just, I'll get over that. That'll, she'll forget about it later on. No, she will never forget that. So anyways.
Well, I mean, I would think that's a good problem to have, to have your husband be alive and spending money.
I mean, I could like, something could happen to me like tomorrow, but I don't care. I'm just going to go for it and do it. And then I told her, if something happens to me, you can have this person sell my clubs. She goes, "How much money did you spend?" When I said that, she goes, "How much money did you spend?" So she started at a really high number. I said, "Not that high." And then she went low, and I said, "A little bit higher, higher than that. Keep going." So anyways.
That's great. That's great. Well, I am so grateful that you can walk your dogs and that you can have an intelligent conversation with a nurse and educate her, and that you can go golfing. I'm so happy that you. I
think this happens with a lot of us carnivores, or people that do keto that have lost weight and improved themselves. All of us have different stories to tell, so it's awesome.
Yeah,
hi,
absolutely.
Love you.
Hi, Jackie.
There, and I said hi, and and Kelly and everybody else.
Yeah, tell them I said hello.
For sure. I will let them know. Great
All
job, Tom. That's so awesome.
Bye. So yeah, I mean, that's just absolutely incredible for you to get your life back. And you know, I feel the same way. I've been at CrossFit now. I'm getting ready to start my 5th month. And I go every morning at 5 a.m. and I lift heavy weights. I did this week, I have multiple sclerosis. And this week I lifted from the ground a barbell to here to over my head, 75 pounds. And I was like, how is that even possible? I'm supposed to have degenerative disease, you know, where I keep getting worse with multiple sclerosis.
We need some more of those videos of you working out.
I know I need to do some. I'll have to ask my coach. They're just, everybody else is so tired at 5 a.m. I'm just like, I'm alert and like ready to go.
They ask me, why are you so alert all the time at 5 a.m.? And it's not coffee.
Yeah. And I'm not sore. That's the funny part. All the other people that I do CrossFit with, they're like, oh gosh, I feel Monday's workout on Wednesday. And they're like, oh, don't you hurt? And I'm like, nope. Like, I just don't. Like, I feel like, oh yeah, I remember doing that workout, but I'm not like aching from it. And
So
I
go in there. I'm sorry about that.
Go ahead.
I went into this place because I wanted to say I used to use a stiff shaft because I swing really hard. I used to swing really hard, and I said I've had 2 back surgeries, you know, blah blah blah, and that was the last time I played golf was like 8 years ago.
Wow.
And I go in there and I go, you know, I'm hitting these golf balls, and he goes, "You sure you haven't played in 8 years?" I said no. So, and that's yeah.
Awesome.
But I did.
Well,
I didn't.
And think about it. You have more flexibility now just because the weight's gone.
Oh yeah, I mean, just a year ago when one time I went to Top Golf with our crew, and I was like, I was terrible. I was like, oh my God, I can't swing a club. I was so miserable. You know, that's when I'm about to die, and I was about to die. So, just totally, it's like night and day between a year and about a month, half a month ago. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Thanks for sharing, Tom. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And Chris says, this is exactly what I need today. You all give me so much hope and inspiration. Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. I'm so glad to have you here. And next, I would love for Amy Labby to share with us her story. Welcome to our meeting. I know that you've been here before, but this is the first time that we're having you talk.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here with you all. And I've been following a lot of you for a long time, so I feel like I'm in the presence of celebrities. But I'm glad you asked me to share today because I have an interview later that somebody is going to talk to me about my carnivore journey and everything. So this will get me warmed up.
This is your prep. I love it.
Yeah, I would say I started with food addiction when I was a very, very young child. I had kind of a very emotionally unavailable mother and a very busy working father. And that was my first love, just food in volume, any sugar I could get, hiding things, and just feeling like something was wrong because nobody else that I was watching ate that way or felt that way about food. So I even felt that, you know, in elementary school, I would say, and it made me very anxious. I had a very, probably a good level of depression, even as a young child. I started having physical symptoms because of the way that I was eating, probably around the age of 10 with lots of irritable bowel issues, I would say.
No way. 10 years old?
Yeah. And then I started with migraines when I was 12. And so I just had a lot of pain always. Either it was my stomach or it was my head. And then probably further into high school, more with the depression and kind of mental side of things. And then once my kids were born in my early 20s, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And from that point on, sort of the migraines got worse and worse, that I was having 3 or 4 migraine days a week. I'm a nurse, and I was working 12-hour shifts, either, having abdominal pain or head pain or just something, just always nauseous, always bloated, distended, just uncomfortable. So I ended up in my late 20s with a lot of different surgeries. I had my gallbladder removed, which I think maybe they didn't know what else to do. It was just, she has all these symptoms, blah, 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 and they took my gallbladder out. I'm not entirely sure that it was even unhealthy at the time. I had a back surgery. I had herniated discs in my back, lifting patients. Ovarian cysts. I had a big surgery to remove a hemorrhaging cyst at one point. I had a breast reduction because they thought the back pain was because of that. Just on and on. So it just in my 30s, I would say, just a continuous battle of all of these things. And with the Crohn's disease, I constantly had gut infections and was on antibiotics on and off continuously, which gave me like a 2-year battle with C. diff, that I was hospitalized over and over, 3 or 4 weeks at a time. So just I ended up between the migraines and the Crohn's disease and all the pain on lots of narcotic medication that I became extremely addicted to, even though it was prescribed medication and I was a nurse and I knew that that could happen. My brain became very attached to that. And I think probably the initial sugar addiction, it was a cross addiction. I was trading one thing for another, and I was also using it to soothe myself, which, it went initially from I had all this pain to, ooh, this is making me feel better emotionally.
Yeah, it gave you like a dopamine hit.
Yeah. So let's see, that went on and on and on. And I kind of just kept living that way and working that way, and just in a total fog. And in my late 30s, I had a partial hysterectomy. And after that, I gained 40 pounds within like 3 months because my hormones were just,
wow.
It was crazy. And so that's what finally, I hate to say that it wasn't all of these problems that I was having that finally made me go to carnivore. It was, oh my God, I've gained all this weight. So I would say when I was in my early 40s, I went to keto. That was 5.5 years ago. And I just dropped all that weight, like so fast, quickly, really quickly. And within 6 months or so, I was off all 12 of my medications and still don't take any medications all these years later. So,
wow.
Keto really, I kind of just poured myself into learning everything there was about that. I loved the science of it. And finally, I was like, I feel so much better, but still my gut is not quite right. Still with bloating and some pain and stuff. And I was like, I'm not sure why I'm still eating fiber and veggies. And so I just cut that out. And it was like, I can't even put it into words. Like everything was gone. Everything was better once I got rid of the fiber, and my brain was better.
Wow.
Just a lot of clarity after that. And so it's been about 3 years that I've been carnivore. I work every day on sobriety. food wise, I mean, it's been 10 years as far as narcotic wise, but food wise, I work with the addiction reset community, and I'm studying with Dr. Ifland to
Oh
be
yeah,
a manager with her program, to
that's
try to help other
incredible.
people. Yeah. So I feel like all of this has led me there, to try to help other people. I'm not working as a nurse anymore, and kind of that area of my life, I really miss it. I miss feeling like I'm being instrumental in helping people in some way. So the ARC has really brought me back to being able to do that. So.
Yeah, I don't know, you probably can't see, I've got her book here behind me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's amazing. And what they do is that's what you need. You need a support group, to be able to come to and to be able to talk through these things. And so I'm so glad that you're going through that process to be a facilitator, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. I love it. I love it.
That's incredible. And so you lost the weight, and then was it difficult for you to keep it off? Did you have to kind of like tweak things, or has it been pretty steady for you?
Weight wise, pretty steady. I never, until I had that surgery, I had been on and off kind of overweight, but I think I was more one of those fat on the inside people. That
Okay.
I probably had a lot of, you know, insulin resistance and an unhealthy liver for sure, and probably a lot of fat there that has taken a long time to resolve. So I haven't weighed myself probably in over a year, because that gets very, I
Yeah,
play games with that. So so I don't really know. I just know that in every other way, I feel better and my clothes fit.
that's all that matters. That's
Yeah.
all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that
So
matters.
I use those things as gauges more now, because I know that my body shape and my weight don't define me.
Yes. And can you tell us a little bit more about your group that you have, Beyond the Scale, right?
Sure. Yeah. So my friend Stephanie and I, she's the Candid Carnivore. We kind of got together in one of Kelly's groups,
Yes.
because we found out that we live 20 minutes apart in Pennsylvania. So that was exciting that we were in this great big group, and we were, made the connection that we lived close. And so, we just became friends and started talking about this mutual desire we had to help other people, that have been through the same things. She has Hashimoto's and has healed so much in that way. So we started the Facebook group. And we've kind of started doing, lives from there and on Instagram and that kind of thing. And also some paid groups as well. And a lot of people from Pennsylvania have joined them. So that's been exciting that we've been able to do kind of some local work too, because it's kind of where I live, an underserved area, I would say, that needs just a lot of love and medical attention that they're not getting. And certainly so many diabetics in this area. And that's kind of my love, is helping people with type 2 diabetes and getting this resolved. So that's what she and I have been working on. And, it's been a tremendous amount of work, but very, very valuable, I think.
Very rewarding. I mean, especially if you didn't go into the profession of being a nurse without that heart to want to serve people. And so now you're able to use this, other skill set to really be able to practically help people instead of just medicate them.
Yes.
And, go through the motions and the modern medical structure. So that's so cool. And so you have the Facebook group is free, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And that is Beyond the Scale.
Yes.
Okay. And then in there, they can reach out to you to find out more about the meetings, either in ARC that you are part of, or in the paid meetings that you guys are doing.
Yes, exactly. So we have a YouTube channel called Beyond the Scale Zero Carb Healing. So you can go watch things on there. We have a lot of interviews and talking with Dr. Iflin, with Kelly, with just a whole bunch of different people. And right now we're working on a series of Meet, MEAT, our friends, where we're kind of just interviewing people that we don't see every day, maybe on Instagram or whatever, that have really valuable stories to tell. So that's on there. And then, yeah, all the links are in Beyond the Scale and also in our Instagram. So, and that I'm Amy's Keto Life 73 on Instagram. If anybody, I know a few of you follow me on there, and I follow you. And yeah, so anybody that's interested, you're very welcome.
That's incredible. And so I do, if you have time, I do want to go back to some of the medical problems that you were having. What have you found that has resolved with some of the medical?
Okay, so my Crohn's disease really, I guess they would call it in remission. I've had several completely symptom-free, inflammation-free colonoscopies. Like there's no sign of the Crohn's at this point.
Wow.
My migraines, which had become even more debilitating, I probably have maybe 3 or 4 a year now, where it used to be 3 or 4 a week. So
Wow.
that's just been a complete life change. I mean, just this change of, I was in pain all the time to, I can't think of the last time I was really. So it's been miraculous in that way. And just constant stomach issues and inflammation everywhere. Just all my joints hurt. I've kind of been a long distance walker for years and years. And there were times that I'd just not be able to do that for 6 months at a time or whatever. And now physically, nothing hurts. And, I was on antidepressants forever. And I just don't have those feelings. Everybody has a low day, I think, now and then, but at this point, I just feel like the best that I could feel.
Well, and whenever you've experienced depression, the difference between depression and a bad day.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because whenever you're in depression, it's like the whole world is like closing in on you and there is no hope. There's just this dread.
Yes.
And so whenever do what?
It feels like blackness to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when you're having a bad day, you're like, you can see it. You're just like, okay, this circumstance is causing this emotion and I'm going to feel better tomorrow. Yeah. But when you're in depression, it's like, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. It's constant dread and blackness. And so I'm so grateful that you've experienced that freedom as well.
Thank you. And I would also add, the bane of my existence from childhood has been cravings for whatever I was going to get a dopamine hit from. And I didn't think that I could ever be free of that. And, whether it didn't matter what it was. I had never considered myself an alcoholic, but if I had some alcohol, I was going to drink it until I was obliterated. And it didn't matter what substance it was. It's the addiction that you're using, you know, whatever you're trying to soothe. And it didn't matter what the substance was. If I had a taste of it, I loved it. And I'm craving free now. I mean, it's just, I can't describe how that changes your life.
Oh,
Yeah.
completely. And just changes the possibilities, you know, because like I remember I wasted so much time planning my food, preparing my food, shopping for my food, cooking my food, and then eating my food like every 2 to 3 hours. I mean,
Yeah.
I was constantly, and then I told everyone in my story yesterday, I used to have to sit a jar of peanut butter on my nightstand in case I woke up in the middle of the night so that I could have a couple of tablespoons and then go back to sleep. Like, that's not sober behavior.
Right.
And so I'm so grateful to hear that you're free of that and to give people hope, because they tell me all the time, I couldn't do what you do, Emily. I couldn't do it. There's no way I could do it. Honestly, I couldn't have either. The whole first 40 years of my life, I couldn't have stuck to anything, but it was a game changer when I added animal fat.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I tell people all the time, you have to have a strong why. You know, thinking that I can't do what you do. Well, you're not there yet, maybe, you know,
Yeah.
that you have hit such a rock bottom that there's no choice but up, you know, and yeah, I think that's important. You need to sit and be with yourself and understand the reason that you need to do this. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I love that. And I cannot thank you enough. I've been following you, and I love that there's another person out there who is sharing this story, and you're so devoted, like you're so passionate about really meeting people where they're at and serving them instead of like bashing them and like coming with judgment and coming with like you know, just these expectations. Like everything that you post is so loving and so just really wanting to serve people, and that means a lot to me.
I'm so glad. I think for me, it's about, yes, meeting people where they are, definitely. And doing it by guiding them to find their inner voice and their answer. You know, it's not about what I think you should do. It's about what's already in there, and you need to learn how to listen to it. You know, and also, you know, your higher power that is my answer to everything. So
Yes, absolutely. And that's why I changed my name on Instagram from Carnivore Minds to Inner Clarity System, because it's that inner clarity that matters. You know, carnivore is a tool, and it's unfortunately some of us are so sick that it's the tool that we need to heal, but it's not for everyone. And I think that everyone needs to navigate what foods work for them. I have clients who, you know, they send me pictures of their food, and they have broccoli on their plate and they're thriving.
Right.
They're doing so good. And I'm like, go eat the broccoli, enjoy the broccoli. I have no judgment. You know, I want people to find out their plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, any other words of wisdom or anything that you wanted to share with us before we end? Because I'm so grateful and honored to have you here.
I think, you know, to another point that you made, a big part of my inspiration is, you know, that I was under the dogma of the medical community that I worked in and was a part of and was being treated by for 20 years. And I couldn't see the forest for the trees. And it wasn't until I had to figure out a way to save myself, that I saw what was being perpetuated there. And, you know, I love the science. I love it. I love the education I got. But it's my journey and my duty to bring that science, but also, you know, say that your experience matters. You know, you know, we have an understanding of, you know, a ketogenic situation, but let's look at where you know, how you react to that. You know, every single person's body and physiology is so different, and if it's not being looked at in that way, we're in the wrong place. And you know, that's my real true passion is, you know, looking at everybody like they're an individual, I guess.
Mm. That's so, and honestly, isn't that what we all want? For somebody to look at us,
Yes.
you know, because I can't just have a cardiologist and that's just looking at my heart, or somebody who's my psychiatrist and just looking at my mental health, and somebody who's you know, looking at my digestive system, or looking at other parts of me. I want somebody to look at the whole of me, and to really look at the whole picture and talk to me about what is going on. And so I'm so grateful for people like you in this community who can come with the science and to answer those questions and to navigate us through this journey.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy. And Tom, you had a question or comment?
Yeah, I like what Amy said about you know, about the medical community, and it's really it worries me that of the situation that we're in right now with the medical community. There's a lot of good people there. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good. No, they mean well, but they're not even trained properly in school, and they're going with the science. And I really think we're coming to a crossroads here. Between being able to continue to do carnivore and eat meats and eggs and all that stuff, and being forced over to this plant-based bugs and all that stuff. It's a scary situation. We're if we go the direction of plants, it's over. So the fight that we can continue to do every day was well worth it. I think more and more people are waking up to it. But we are at a crossroads right now, and it's happening as we speak. And that's not just eating, it's the medical community in so many different ways. My wife, she, for last 2 years almost, she's been in unbearable pain. She's been to the emergency room 4 times. And they didn't diagnose the fact, and the pain was right there where the hip should be, like a hip replacement type thing. And they did not diagnose that she needed a hip, that she was bone on the hip and needed a hip replacement. And all it took was an x-ray by a back guy. He said in 10 minutes, he said, you need a hip replacement. You're bone on bone. What? 2 years. Not only that, she has to wait till May 10th to get her surgery, and she's in unbearable pain right now. Like, you know, so it's frustrating. It's a shame. Sorry.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think if I can answer, like, I so understand that frustration. And I mean, speaking for the medical community, I would say so many of us feel that frustration right with the patients. You know, I mean, I gave chemo to patients for 20 years. I wasn't helping anybody. You know, nothing was changing. All we were seeing were more and more and more people. Well, obviously, this is not a functional schematic that's being, you know, that's working in any way. And yeah, so I mean, it's such a struggle, and I'm not working as a nurse anymore. And every day I think, what would I do, and how would I really help someone? You know, I know how I would, but I also know that I wouldn't be allowed to practice in the way that I believe is the right way now. And
I'm afraid to go back to my doctor because I know they want to put me on statins because my cholesterol level is higher. And I'm like, I was on statins for all these years. It did nothing to stop the plaque buildup in my arteries. So I'm afraid to go back to the doctor now because they're not giving me the. It's frustrating.
I would hit them with the research, Tom, that people who take statin therapy with cardiovascular disease on average live 48 hours longer than people who do not take it.
And yeah. It's like
You
one day, 2 days. One day if you don't have the plaque, you're talking about Paul Mason's videos.
Well, I'm talking about that when you look in the package insert of a statin drug, those studies are listed right in there.
Isn't that something?
Mean survival is 48 hours longer per person who takes it than one.
And it's not worth the brain fog that you get taking the medication. I think so much clearer now. I don't talk well on here because I see all these beautiful people on here. I get tongue tied. But yeah, I have so much better mental clarity since I stopped taking a statin. So
it's remarkable. And also several of them have a black box warning on them because they cause such arthralgias. My husband took one and within 6 months had been diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis. And he will live with that for the rest of his life. There are major concerns with these drugs. Major. Yeah. So I'm just saying that I totally get the frustration. And this is what, if I can use this platform for anything, this is it. Get people off these drugs.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Amy. Thank you for spending time with us. And thank you for what you're doing in the community. I'm so grateful to have someone of your caliber to be able to break these things down for us and to support us on this journey.
Thank you, Emily. I really appreciate that.
No problem. All right. Well, if nobody else has anything else that they want to share or update us on or ask a question, I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. I'm getting ready to go celebrate my carniversary with a steak lunch. So I'm really excited about that. All right. Well, you guys have a great time. Tom says it's 82 degrees 2 days ago and it's snowing today. Yeah. And also, Chris, we will definitely keep you in our prayers. And I can't imagine what you're experiencing, going through trying to have the medical team not listen to you. But thank you guys so much. And I hope you have a great Saturday. I will see you next week.